What's up, everybody? This is your boy Metahuman Macaluco, and today I have the honor and privilege of speaking to none other than Mr. Jeffreyalexander.
Yo.
Jeffrey, so my question to you, my first question is, how did you get your start? What was your inspiration, and what was the domino effect that led you to where you are today?
Like, I mean, it's probably like when I was a kid, like 11. Like, I don't know. Like, I picked up the guitar and stuff, and like from then on there, I guess like I started, I got into like rock, and my mom, would get me into like the old like classic rock. And I also said like 70s kind of stuff, like Boston, Player, Bad Company, things like that.
Boston's Fire. Were you ever inspired by
Boston's
Led Zeppelin or
No.
AC/DC, more of the mainstream stuff?
Nah, man. Nah, I mean, now that I look back on it, nah, like, with guitar, I don't know, man. I mean, because I've been playing, because, like, that's the longest instrument I've been playing. So, like, I've always had, like, bands that I would just constantly, like, listen to, and then, like, I would get into, like, writing into, like, that kind of style. Like, at first it was Breaking Benjamin. Like, that was, like, my first favorite band ever.
Okay.
Like, I have all their albums. Like, I love that band to this day. Like, I've seen that band like 10 times.
Now, as time went on, did you end up writing like actual compositions from scratch?
Yeah, but like they suck though. Like I remember when I was a kid, but like I guess you gotta start out somewhere type shit. But,
No, absolutely. I mean, you can't. You're a kid, you can't expect to be good off rip, unless you're like some sort of prodigy. But even then, like you said, you got to start off somewhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just different. I don't know. It was a little bit different for me, man. I guess because like my whole family, I guess, is kind of like musical in a sense. I mean, like my grandpa was a classical guitarist in Cuba, and he was like kind of big over there. He studied with this guy named Emilio Pujol, who's like famous. Like he was really famous back then. He was a really famous like, classical guitarist, and he was sick. Like that dude was insane. But my grandpa studied under him or whatever, so like he was considered to be like pretty good, like like really good, but I guess like to him like the master was that guy.
Yeah.
And my grandma was like did piano, did ballet, things like that. My mom sang. She played like the saxophone. She was in a band too for a little bit, but like before I was born, because when I was born, she had to get a real job and be a nurse and shit. But yeah, she was. She did that. My aunt, I guess, is the most boring one, but other than that, yeah, I mean,
Now, like your grandpa and that other fellow you were mentioning, did your grandpa sit you down and teach you the notes and guitar? Or did you learn
nah,
that all on
man.
your own?
My mom had one of his acoustic guitars at the time, and I don't know, like when I was 11, so like sixth grade, uh, for some reason, like I kept on looking at I kept on looking at the guitar because at first I tried saxophone
Mm-hmm.
in like beginner band, and that just wasn't working out. Like it just wasn't my thing.
I got you.
Yeah, but then I don't know, like it just kind of I kind of just gravitated towards the guitar. Like I remember just being with my mom and picking it up, and that was it. Like like love at first sight. Like I guess you know what I mean. And then ever since that day, it was literally like I remember I stopped playing video games, and I just got seriously into guitar, like music and stuff. Like there was a point where I didn't play video games for like 10 years, and I was just like sitting there after school, like playing, practicing like songs I wanted to learn from like other kinds of bands and stuff. And then when I got a little bit older, then like I wanted to do like my own bands and stuff like that. But it was I don't know, like around 14, like I was doing like I was getting into like the Miami local scene back then, like the hardcore scene.
Right.
Like
Los Rosas when they were still open and shit?
Nah, no, we're talking way before Los Rosas, like Miami Wings, Drake's, The Dugout, like real like vintage hall. Like I remember I used to play with like Black Tide back in the day.
Black Tide.
I Set My Friends on Fire. We played a couple shows with them. Like I joined a deathcore band. That was like the first band I got into there. This Devour the Light. You know, like it was super like MySpace, deathcore. Like, but I wasn't really into like deathcore like that back then when like in middle school. Like I was into like post-hardcore. Like I'm a post-hardcore kid till I die, bro. Like fucking The Silent Drive and shit like that. And Attack Attack. That's like one of my favorite bands.
Dude, Attack Attack.
Alisana, like
what
all
a
that kind of stuff,
throwback.
man. Yeah, dude, Alisana, like I have their first 3 albums, like still to this day, like dude, Alisana's the shit. Like when Misfade the Legends, that album was so hard. Skylar Drive too, like for sure. Like She Watched the Sky, that EP was fire. Before Jordan was the original guy, so with that guy, with that first EP, and then of course like I don't know if you know like their albums like Wires in the Closet of Breathing.
I'm not. I'm gonna have to ask that you send me some of the links, whatever platform they're on, whether on Spotify.
No, they're on everything. Yeah, they're on everything.
No. Okay. So with that, how did Arteries come about? Arteries FL.
Arteries started in 2016. That's when it first started, and it was all me, because before that I was in a band called Allison Tonight, and that wasn't really my band though. Like I joined as a frontman, and then they broke up, and then I tried to start a new band with my boy Frankie. Maybe you know him, Frankie Palmero.
No, I'm not familiar with Frankie.
It's from Davey. But I tried to start a band with him. He was in another band called Give Up Ghosts and stuff. And they were kind of big in Broward. Like they were popping, like they were playing like the Bright Stars tour and stuff, like when it was big. Like My Digital Escape and all that.
Okay.
Cringy shit. Like they were playing like those tours with these people and stuff. And so I tried to start a band with him, but it just flopped. And then that's kind of like how Arteries started, because I was just like, I kind of just want to like write my own shit. Like I don't really want to have other people's like input. Because fuck it, like I've done that so many times.
Yeah, understandably so. It's like it gets so annoying after a while.
For me, at least, it does. Because like every single time I try to write, there's only a few selected people though that I could say that like I've wrote hits with those people. But like other than that, like writing with somebody, it's just it's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's like I know what I like, and like I know what they like, and it's like.
So did you ever, get into any serious arguments over creative differences?
Nah, man. Like I was never really like that. I knew someone that was like that, and he was like kind of big in the scene a little bit.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you get popping off on them, but people
Like they be popping off on me.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Nah.
Because I mean, even
I've never had anything like that. Nah.
Because regardless on whether it's you popped off first or they popped off first, that's how arguments come to be, and that's part of the reason why a lot of these groups end up splitting to begin with. So I wouldn't blame you if you stepped away and started doing your own thing. That's how a lot of musical geniuses move. You feel me?
Yeah, but I've only dealt with like 2 people that were kind of just like a little bit obnoxious to like work with in a band. Other than that, it was alright. Like, but yeah, I mean, but that's what started Arteries, because I wanted to write my own shit, and like I didn't want people telling me like I don't like it or whatever, or like take this part out, whatever it is. And then that's just had the most success. Like everybody knows me from that mostly.
So while I was listening to some of your stuff from the Arteries catalog, I noticed that there was a bit of a trend. You did one remix of Just Dance with Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And the most recent one was Sex With Me by Rihanna.
Yeah, it's funny though, because that cover actually was recorded in 2018. Like, yeah. So I wrote that in 2018. I wrote that in the back of a chick's car on my fucking laptop. She was like working at Domino's Pizza.
Yeah.
I remember like she'd have to like turn off the car like every single time she made a delivery. So like, bro, it'd be hot as fuck in there. I mean,
Oh my god.
I was like, let me pass the time and let me think of like what to do. And I wanted to do another cover, and I was like, fuck it. I'm like, I think I heard "Sex with Me" like on the radio in her car, and I was like, I think I can try to do something with that. And then, yeah, that shit came out. I liked how it came out for sure. I have another one, but I don't know if I want to put it out. A lot of people like it, but the song isn't like that popular. Like,
Well, regardless of the song itself is popular or not, when I took my first listen to it, that shit blew me. I was like, why is this so like unnecessarily fire, bro? Like,
that's crazy, bro. Thank you, man. Honestly, like I don't, cause like I don't think my music is fire by whatsoever, dude. Like,
I mean, listen, you know,
but that means a lot, dude. For real. Like,
I think the problem is that a lot of you guys put so much weight on yourself, and you got to give yourself some sort of credit because you know I went in thinking this might be a little silly, but once I like actually tuned in, I was like, what the actual fuck? This is way better than I expected. I could never fathom someone taking a Rihanna song and making it 10 times harder, you know?
yeah,
Like, I had to send that shit to my boy Randy. He fucking.
That's crazy.
Because he's into, you know, deathcore, metalcore,
That's
all that
dope.
stuff. And, you know, it would only make sense for me to, like, all right, let me put this guy onto you.
That's dope, man. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, because, like.
Thank you for spreading the song and stuff, man. For real.
Because, you know, that's. Not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people are able to take, like, super upbeat fucking pop songs. And it all. How do I say this?
No, I mean I feel you like turned it into like post-hardcore type kind of like or pop punk type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like the first one I did was Just Dance, and I think that was the best one. Like that was the because that was the best because like that had the video and everything, and like I put a lot of money into that.
Does your car have Bose speakers?
I think yeah.
Okay, you gotta. When I used to make my songs back in the day, before I just completely stopped and just focused on making videos, my friends and I would do a car radio test, and we used to use,
No, I always do that. Yeah, I mean, like my speakers are pretty good though. Like my monitors I have to mix, but
everyone always says Bose are the best ones to listen
because
to.
a lot of car stereos tend to have more sub in them. Like there's more sub, like and there's more like hertz and like the 808s and stuff, or like the bass and stuff for Bose at least, or most cars I think now have Bose. I think I'm pretty sure.
And since we're on the subject of remixes, I was also listening to some of your other solo projects, and there's a couple that I actually liked as well. I remember when you first put out the Fireworks remix, by Katy Perry.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was straight boredom, bro.
Straight boredom.
Straight boredom.
Dude, the board projects are usually the best ones.
I mean, I was most like for the solo shit though, like yeah, I'm like on the fritz about it because like when I started that stuff, I tried to do rap and hip hop, and I was like, this shit it's just not for me. Like, I just couldn't do it, man. Like, I couldn't be out there talking about whatever the fuck I was talking about. I even forgot like my early stuff because everything like the early like 2017 is like deleted because it's like it just
What an era.
it just wasn't good, man. And then I got into emo rap, and I thought that was like it. And then
Like that whole little Peep wave when he was still alive.
but I never liked Pete. Like
Well, don't get me twisted. I personally wasn't really big into Peep like that, but like even then, especially after his passing, that whole wave ended up becoming a lot bigger than it needed to be. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like I was into like Little Aaron and Lotus and Smart Death and stuff like that. But there was like a couple of like I would either make, but I was also like doing a lot of drugs and everything. Like, it was bad. Like when I started that genre, but like I would either make a good song or a bad song, and I didn't really know how to write in that genre like lyrically. Like I'd just be like rambling on the mic, and the auto tune would just go on, and I'd be so fucking wired. Yeah, it's fire. Fuck it, just leave it, put it in there. And then I got tired of it, but then I got into hyperpop, and that's been a little bit different. I actually I enjoy doing hyperpop. Like
Now, how does it feel being one of the few people in the state of Florida to actually get really involved in the hyperpop genre? Because I personally can't think of anyone else in the state of Florida. I know there's one other person that actually follows the both of us, but he's from, or they, I should say, is from Edmonton, Brendan Cush.
Oh yeah, Brendan, dude. Yeah, I met him on that emo trap group page.
Really? In person?
Not in person, but like there's a page. Maybe you've seen it. The emo trap group. You never heard of that page?
No, I haven't seen
That
that.
page is wild, bro. I first got into that page when I was doing the emo rap stuff, and I post like my songs that was obviously they sucked.
I actually had got in contact with them at one point during my birthday this year, and they sent me a little beat to use for my birthday
Oh,
documentary.
that's dope.
So shout out Brendan, thank you for that.
That's crazy that you know him. I mean, damn, that's crazy.
Well, I don't know what it is with Facebook specifically. I've been getting in
Yeah, I
contact
know.
with
Facebook. Yeah, Facebook be sus, bro. Cause
like 2018,
Facebook
2019 when I was doing Nicer Slice, there was just this influx of random artists like adding me at the time, and a lot of them were just starting off and building
yeah,
up.
that's when I started.
Like
that
Keep My
solo
Secrets
stuff.
was one of the first people.
Oh, dude, I played a show with him like almost 2 years ago with Johnny Craig with Ascendance.
No shit.
Yeah.
Here in Florida?
Yeah, in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Yeah, far.
See,
The show was lit.
he's
but, like,
hilarious, but he actually ripped on one of my songs.
Really?
Yeah, he was not a fan of Boca. He was not a fan at all. It is what it is. I can't even be mad
I mean,
about
I've never
that.
really even heard of like any of the songs. Like, I just knew the name.
There was Emo Chick. That was one that like stuck out to me. I do listen to a couple of his freestyles on SoundCloud every now and then, and I feel bad because there's been a couple of times where he'll like on and off deactivate his Facebook, and I'll think he's like done for Facebook for good, and then I unfriended the account, and I'm like, oh fuck, he's back on Facebook. So I didn't want him to think like I'm on some op shit. It was just kind of like, you keep deactivating your Facebook. I don't know when you're gonna come back. You know what I'm saying?
And I just seen him in person. Like I never even talked to him. Like I was mostly talking with like Johnny Craig and stuff like that. We just chill with him and stuff.
I got you.
But he was always like in the back, in the shadows, or whatever.
Now with Johnny Craig, and I'm actually happy you brought him up. Ascendance. How did that come to be?
That band?
Yes.
Well, I'm not the original member technically. They're from Michigan. They're not from here.
Okay.
They moved here. I want to say, shit, man, it's already been damn. It's been a minute, bro.
At least 8 years, give or take.
Nah. It's been like almost 3 years.
Okay.
But they moved here, and I met Jordan, the lead singer, Killcore. I met him.
Is that his actual last name? That's cool as fuck. Actually.
No, it's not.
No?
I think it's like Killcoin or something. But Killcore, little gimmick. Whatever he got going on, whatever the captain does,
Whatever the captain does. Aye, captain.
Whatever the captain says, whatever. But we've gone through like a lot of member changes like recently. Like Eric, the tall bass player, he's not with us anymore. He's been gone. And there's some bullshit going on with that, but there's always bullshit going on with that.
Yeah, I was peeping the comments, and there was like a lot of nasty comments, and I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah, man, I don't get involved in any of that. I just write.
No, I
just
understand.
sit
Like,
there and I just write.
listen, I've known you long enough for me to be like, you know, how are you gonna just throw these to you? What? You're like one of the coolest people I've met. What the fuck?
Yeah, nah, man. I just drama's so pointless to me. Like, I don't understand it. I don't know why people get like a thrill off that shit, man. Because like, there's some people that get off on that, bro. Like,
They really do, and
Yeah, I'm
and
just
it,
like,
and it
bro.
sucks. It's like you have other people, you know, putting you on a pedestal. Like, what was that one guy, Orion, or Orion Reacts? How do you pronounce it?
oh yeah. I mean, we paid for that reaction though. Like most bands pay for, like pay to play or like pay to get featured on there. But and it's a hot issue too with all this like controversy that Jordan has and whatever, saying that like he's a sexual deviant or whatever. He's a peeping tom. He's a whatever. But I mean, obviously that's not true. I mean, if it was, I don't think he'd be out in the public for one, especially with a lot of evidence that they said that they had on him, and he lawyered up, and that was that. So, but that's just still gonna follow. But like, it doesn't really like, because I don't get into like my bad. I don't get into like.
You don't want to get into it, and you don't want to
Just
be arguing. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't argue with people, bro. Like on Facebook, I nothing like I be looking at people's
Delete, block, move on.
Not even like I don't even block you. I really don't give a fuck, bro. Like I see you in person or whatever. But like, cause the internet and real life is like a whole
Two separate things.
Yeah, bro. Like we've definitely lost like a lot of social skills. Like people, I say our generation, like we lost like a lot of social skills.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Everybody's all like super anxiety and shit. And it's,
See, it's why I actually like having these sit-down conversations and getting to know what's good. So at least, it's not like, oh, he's saying this and he's saying that. Get the fuck out of my face.
I don't give a fuck about any of that, bro. Like, but I know plenty of people that are like that, man. And like I see them because I have a friend that chills with them or whatever. If I see him,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of like you're walking on eggshells, man.
And it's not a good life to live, especially, if you're doing it to yourself.
It's not for me, man. I mean, you can do whatever you want at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it's just not for me, man. Like,
So going back to the band, I was listening to Blacklist, and I noticed that you guys got Chris Franzak. Did you ever get a chance to interact with him at all?
yeah, well, we did the video with him, and we had his guy film it, who's done like all of the newer Attila videos.
Right.
Like he's done, and he's done like Body Snatcher. He's done Traders. He's done like all the big Florida bands here and stuff too. So he's known. So we did the video with him, and we did it with Franz. But like, I mean, he just kind of showed up and just did his part. Like we talked for like very briefly. Like I said what's up to him.
Dapped him up.
Yeah, but I wasn't like, yo, I'm a big fan. Hey, I'm Jeffrey. Oh, what's up, dude? It was kind of like more like, I didn't want to see. I mean, but like, I didn't really
see that's
like
what
Attila that much when I was growing up. Like I did, but I did it. Like later on, 17, like I got into Rage heavy. Like that album just goes so hard. Dude.
Yes.
That shit is so hard.
So you clearly have more composure than I do, because I would have been a little bit more like, oh my fucking god, dapped him up.
I mean, dude, I was like that with Johnny Craig, man. Super, like, trying to hold my head. This dude, Johnny Craig did to me, like, that's like my childhood, bro. Like, Johnny Craig.
Now, he's the individual that was involved with Dance Gavin Dance.
He was in that, Emerosa, Ghost Runner on Third, a bunch of shit.
Okay.
Solo stuff. Dance Gavin Dance, though, like mostly. Like, yeah, dude. Like, dude, their whole first album, like, Downtown Bottom Mountain, dude. What, dude? That album goes so hard to this day. I still jam that album to this day. I was jamming it the other day with my friend. Like it was like back like, like it was just yesterday. Like me first listening to that album. I love that album. That was like one of the albums too that I started learning on guitar. That was like a pretty dominant album for me. Like Downtown Bottom Mountain, Chiodos too, like Bone Palace Ballet. That album goes so hard. Then I got into more technical stuff like the Crimson Armada,
Okay.
and then now it's like I don't know. Like to warm up, I go through like Black Dahlia Murder and stuff like that, just to warm up and stuff. But now lately, I don't really care about like shredding as much. I mostly like a lot of like open tunings and stuff like hyperpop. That shit. That's what I like a lot now.
I got you.
Yeah.
Going back to hyperpop, there was one particular song that sticks out to me on a personal level. It's "I Don't Want to See You Again."
Damn, bro, that song. I think that song sucks, man. That song is trash. You like that song?
All right, I'm gonna be so real with you. I recently went through some
maybe,
shit.
but like, dude, I don't like that song at all.
I went through some serious shit like this whole year, and that song like
I did a part 2 of that song.
resonates on a like personal level,
That's crazy.
you know. And it's like, damn, did this guy kind of go through the same shit I went through? That, you know, you gotta be mad to be like, I don't want to see you again.
I don't know, man. Because when I hear that song and then I hear like the newer stuff I've been putting out with the solo stuff, it just doesn't compare. Like to me, it doesn't compare. Like I think the newer stuff is way better. Like this is a lot better. Like everything, like production.
Well, I mean, that's just the evolution of like, you know, trying, you know.
Yeah, because like there was like a little moment where I was doing like this like slow reverb type stuff like at the end of my songs, which sometimes it fit, but just that was like the first song I tried it in.
So would it be like you have an original song and then you have a slow reverb remix, or was it the song
Like the song would play and then like literally like the beat would just like drop, like it would just slow down tempo, like the pitch would drop, it would sound deep, it would just sound like ignorant. But that was the first song that I tried that with, and yeah, man, that song to me is booty. The newer stuff, man, I'm telling you. I mean, like the new EP I'm working on right now with my boy Jay. He used to be in Ascendance, but now he's in Arteries with me.
Jay Ezra?
Yeah.
How long have you known Jay for?
Dude, I've known Jay, oh my god, bro. Since I was like 18, 17, a kid.
Okay.
Like, I didn't know him though. Like, I knew him through like other people. And then later on, he was in a band called Stay for the Night. I think he played guitar for them. And with this chick, what was her name, dude? I think it was Natasha or something. I don't know her. But they had got into some, not her, and I don't know what it was. I think the bass player did some really creepy shit to Jay's girlfriend at the time, and that was a whole big thing, and they split. So
Justifiably so.
yeah, so that was it for them. And then I see Jay here and there. Like, I was supposed to do something with him, with my boy Richie. God rest his soul. But we were gonna do like our old band from when we were like a kid, like 14. Like,
right.
It was called A Fantasy. And
I'm sorry, what was the name of it?
A Fantasy.
A Fantasy?
Like ATHANASY. A Fantasy.
So it was like Thanos mixed with fantasy.
I don't know, man. I to this day, I don't know what that word even means. Like, but the singer came up with the name because he was the guy that was in that deathcore Devour the Light.
Right.
But then he wanted to do like hardcore like stuff, like melodic hardcore.
Okay.
And then I was in that band for a minute when I was like 14, and we were doing like melodic hardcore stuff. But I mean, we kind of, well, we were. Like we wrote the songs. Like I mean, I wrote them mostly with the drummer, Jarko, who's fucking dead too. That's crazy shit, man. And then so we did that, and then I don't know, man. And then me and Richie and our boy Charlie from back in the day, because he loved the fantasy he loved it for like the riffs and stuff.
Right.
Because it was very like melodic, like For the Fallen Dreams type stuff, and a little bit of like counterparts, like old counterparts. And so we were doing that, and then Jay was supposed to hop in on that, but it never happened. I don't know if something happened. And then years later, Richie passes or whatever. So then me and Charlie, we're kind of like a fantasy now. So like we're just like shooting out ideas and stuff like that, and like melodic hardcore type stuff. Cause like that's what it was originally, and like that band could have been really good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, but like at the time, like the singer was just kind of like some stupid shit, like teenager high school shit, or whatever. We were all kids though back then, so like it was just a matter of like knowing what we were gonna do. But,
Yeah.
and then I don't know, that shit ended, and then after that, I tried to do my own band called Discoveries, which like that was like pre like that's like old man. That's like me at like 16, like 16 going to the studio writing a whole song. But I had a full band and stuff. But
So was this like 2013, 2014?
2012, man, 2011.
Okay.
I was like 15, 16 with Discoveries, yeah. And then Discoveries ended. Then I was playing bass for this band called The Ventriloquist and Landmarks. I can go on. Then I was in with Locust and Liars when they first started. And I quit all that. Then I joined Allison Tonight. And then that ended. Then I tried to do Iris, that flopped. And then Arteries is like, that came out of like all of that, pretty much.
Now, with all the bands that you've played with, you've clearly been to different venues. What would you say was the best venue, and what would you say was the worst venue?
Lately, the venues I've been playing with Ascendance are trash. The only good venue that we played, I gotta say, was the Archetype, but that shit's just like it's shut down.
Oh,
And that was
man.
in Jacksonville. But like we packed like dude, there was like at least 300 people there in like a small venue.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It was for the Johnny Craig show, but like
Well,
dude, like we had the
there
whole
you go, Johnny Craig.
Nah, dude, we had the whole like dude, we had cuz he did the song that's on our album. So he did the song with us live, and that was crazy, dude. Like that was definitely like a childhood like dream for me to do, is to like play with that man. Like I was literally like right next to him, like it was crazy, dude. So yeah, that was dope, man. Like that was a pretty dope thing to do. And also working with Chris Franzak too, but nah, man, for me Johnny, dude, all the way, Johnny, dude. Like that dude is God to me, bro. He's Jesus Christ to me. So,
Oh man,
that dude.
that is insane. Oh, okay, and non-music related question. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
How long have you been a fan for?
Since I was a kid, bro. Like, before I got into music, I was really into video games and shit. So,
Right.
like, I got into Sonic at, like, 9, 8, 10. I watched Sonic X, like, every Sunday.
Dude, Sonic X.
Yeah, dude, I watched it every Sunday, and my mom would TiVo it every Sunday, so I'd have the new episode every Sunday. Like, dude, I was so locked into it, and then I was playing, like, Adventure 2, Adventure, Heroes. I had all of them, bro.
Heroes was one of my personal favorites.
Heroes is the shit.
2 was
And I don't
also...
know why people don't say that like Heroes is mid. I'm like, dude, Heroes is the shit.
Okay, so...
Heroes is good. It's just annoying with like the part where you gotta get all the Chaos Emeralds in that little fucking
Yeah.
in that stage. But other than that, the game is
But
great.
I also think it was just the overall gameplay, because you had to switch between speed,
Yeah.
flight, and strength. And it was like...
It was
I
different.
get it, but it's also like... My
Nah, I
favorite
liked
team,
it, bro.
my
It was
favorite
good.
team was the fucking alligator and the chameleon.
Oh, Chaotix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So playing as Vector
Dude,
was
SBO,
always
dude,
like,
SBO was clutch. SBO was the shit, dude. In that game, dude. Yeah. I like it when we do this ninja shit on the wall.
and at the time, while that game was out, they had dropped a it was
I think
like a
they-
bunch of the Sonic games, like the old school ones.
Oh, the Mega Collection.
Yes.
Yeah. I had that. Yeah.
And they would have the old
Then
school
I had the Gem collection
colors.
too. I had Gem collection. That had like Sonic Fighters and a bunch of old shit, man. Sonic Jam.
Sonic Jam.
For the Sega Saturn.
Sonic 3D was always trippy to me.
I didn't really like that game too much. I tried playing it, but I didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean,
that or Sonic Labyrinth. I didn't like that one either too much. Sonic Spinball too. I wasn't really because like I like Sonic games where you had to like do shit.
Yeah.
You had to get to your destination and beat the boss.
Have you gotten a chance to play some of the new Sonic games?
Yeah,
like cause
Frontiers goes crazy. I have Frontiers.
Because I was gonna say like they have Kellen Quinn.
Yeah, I know. They got Signature Signs on them for each boss. Crazy. But that game is really good, dude, because it's open world and it's like, but you can go to like stages and stuff. So they're kind of bringing like the old school like Sonic Adventure type stuff. Like you go to other places and do shit and stuff. But that game was dope. Like now they got Shadow and Sonic Generations, which I haven't got yet, but hopefully I get that soon. Because I heard like really good reviews. I mean, it's a Sonic game, so like you're gonna get what you get.
Yeah,
it's good. Like,
were you ever a fan of the Shadow the Hedgehog game?
Of course. But you know what's crazy? When I was a kid, I loved that game.
Yeah.
But I recently downloaded it on my Dolphin emulator, and I started playing it, man. And I'm like, dude, this game is fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like I was like, this is too hard. Like I was like, how did I get through this as a kid? But then I was like, when you're a kid, you got all the time in the world, so it's like, I was probably like, whatever.
But I feel like this is like,
again, I was like, dude, this is way too hard. Like I can't do this, man. This is too much. Like I get stressed out.
Understandably so.
And it's kind of glitchy too. But I still like that game. I still like every Sonic game, man. I mean, almost, yeah, every Sonic game. And then I got into the comic books too when I was a kid. Like, my mom bought me the first one, and then, dude, I was hooked. Like, I know all these random characters and all this childhood memory shit. Like, I can tell you a whole issue right now. Like, it's crazy. It's kind of cringe. But that's like, I could tell you like a whole scenario.
Listen, from one comic book nerd to another, I grew up on Marvel comics. You know, people still look at me like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Every time I try to emulate.
Marvel's popping.
Marvel's gonna stay popping forever. But
for me, it's like it's a little weird because it's like Sonic, but like comic book, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like,
but
there's the shit I grew up on.
There's just an art to collecting the original books and
yeah.
You know, especially that original Archie line. Because now I think it's like IDW that does the Sonic shit now.
Yeah, nah, I have all the Archies. I have all of them.
Did you ever get a chance to read the one Image crossover they had with Spawn and Savage Dragon?
Nah.
Okay, I gotta look for that one. Because there are copies out there. You know, I'm pretty sure they even have reprints of those exact ones. But they drew the characters a little weird. They got like this fucking Crimson Chin ass aesthetic going on. So it's like, it's supposed to be Spawn, but it's like they're trying to make it so that they fit in with the Sonic characters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, they're cartoony as it is. You know, a lot of these characters, don't get me wrong, they're cartoony, but it's like it's a different type of art style. And they're trying to make them fit the Sonic art style. So it kind of worked, but also kind of like outright weird. Like, if I'll show you a picture on Google Images once we're done with the interview. But yeah, that shit was just a wild concept.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people don't like the Archie style for Sonic. Some people think that whole series is trash.
I mean,
I loved
it. Didn't that whole series emulate the cartoon a little bit? The cartoon came first, right?
Like the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah, the one with Julia White.
Yeah. Yeah, with the original characters and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they're fucking Rufus the Walrus.
Rufus
the Walrus. Stupid fucking shit.
Dude, you gotta put respect on these characters' names. Like, Sally Acorn, like, what the fuck? Like, she's
OG, man. Her over Amy all day. All day, bro. All day. She's, yeah. She's goated.
Aside from Sonic, did you ever get a chance to play any of the other major Sega games like Virtua Fighter or Shenmue?
I played Power Stone.
Power Stone.
Power Stone 2 I played. That shit was fire.
That shit was
crazy, man. I remember trying to play that. It was hard. But once I got the hang of it, like that was pretty good. But I played that. I think they had a Knights game. You ever heard of Knights?
Oh, was that the lady with the jester hat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knights was pretty good.
She was she had a
It
cameo.
was good.
I believe she had a cameo in Sonic Heroes in the casino stages, and that's how I kind of find out about her and that whole franchise.
Yeah, well, because it's the same people that made Sonic. Like Sonic Team made Knights. So, but it's like Knights is like a separate thing. Like I think she's in. No, my bad. That's Blaze the Cat. That she's in Sonic Rush.
Sonic Rush.
Yeah, some other shit too.
I never got a chance to play Sonic Rush.
It was pretty. I played it recently. It's on the emulator. It's all right.
I can't.
I kind of stopped playing it because my head it started hurting. I was like, nah, dude. Like, I'm gonna just go and play Pokemon Black 2.
Understandable.
Because that's all I play on the handhelds is Pokemon. Like, I'm a Pokemon nerd, bro. Like, that's another thing I love too is Pokemon.
Pokemon's pretty fire.
Yeah, Pokemon's the shit.
Now, do you ever foresee yourself making video game compositions?
I wanted to actually, yeah. Well, I got hit up to do guitar, like hyperpop stuff for this dude that was like making an anime or whatever.
Right.
It wasn't like gonna be like a big fucking
production.
Yeah, but it was like I looked at the art style and it reminded me of like an anime that I like too. It's called Nana. And it reminded me of that a little bit. I was like, oh shit, like I'll write to some shit for this. But I wrote him some shit, but I don't think the project ever went through. It looked pretty good though, like for being like self-produced. Like, he had some clout, like I don't know, like he had like 3,000 people following him. He only followed like 20 people. I was like, damn dude, like there's like a small group of people that know who you are. Like that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And he reached out to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck am I? You know what I mean? So.
Well, when you put your work out there, people are bound to find you, man. You know, that's part of the reason why we're having this conversation as it is. But it's also because we have a lot of mutuals, like Jan, for example.
Is that it? Well, besides, yeah. Is that it?
That's
Jan, right?
That's the only one I can really think of.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but I met you through her, or did I meet you through like Facebook?
It's probably a mixture of both.
A mixture of both.
Because Jan, I had you on Facebook, and then Jan would speak very highly of you, and then I was like, okay. I started going down your discography, and I started listening to. Well, I listen to everyone's shit. You know, I listen to a lot of people who put their stuff out there to begin with.
That's dope, man.
You know, it's not like I'm. Like,
no, I'm the same way.
You know, and like curiosity gets to me. I'm like, let's look into this, and then I look into it and. I'm like, okay. So, with that being said, you really do got to give yourself a pat in the back because you may think that a lot of the stuff you put out there is trash, but there's a majority of it that's like actually genuinely fire, dude.
I appreciate it, man. For real, man. That means a lot, man. I just feel like the newer shit with the solo stuff is a lot better, man. Like, if you hear anything that's like 2023 up to now is like is a lot better. I'd say it's a lot better. There was like one song though that I made back then that I'll still be like, that song's a fucking banger, bro. I don't know. I don't think you've heard it. It's only on SoundCloud because that whole EP got taken down because I had a feature and the dude died and. I guess his Spotify like was taking royalties from like the streams that I got.
Yeah.
So they just took down the whole EP. I was like, okay, well, fuck you. I mean, it sucked that he died, but I was like, well, that's kind of flawed. But like, he wasn't even on that song though. Like, it was a different song. that I did with this other guy who introduced me to him. And that dude, the dude that died is called Nick is Gone now. And he had like a little bit of a following. Like he had one big song. And I met him through my other friend. But the song that we did together, man, nah, that's a rap, bro. That's a bomb. It's on SoundCloud now only. It's called Toxic. And that song for sure. Like, that was definitely like a banger that I wrote back then when I was on my shit. Like, you know, when I wasn't fucking. I was wired. I don't know, a bunch of crazy shit. But that was a bomb for sure. But like, I don't know, man. Like, that was the only song that I could tell you that like was good to me. But
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, I mean, like Hit the Floor is alright. Sort of Seek and Destroy is pretty decent. Car Crash is alright. But yeah, Upset is decent too. Even though the guy doesn't like me now anymore, I don't know, for some reason. Some weirdo. Some weirdo internet shit. Yeah, I don't know. He made a fire beat, man. I remember that was like the first song I did that was like emo rap. Like he took the Never Too Late by Three Days Grace, like the acoustic guitar, and sampled it.
Oh.
And I heard that dude, and I was like, that's the one. Like, that's the one, dude. Like, and we made a pretty decent song. Like, needless to say, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I don't really give a fuck. He doesn't like it anymore, but we made a pretty good song, man. But those were the only songs that like that like meant something for sure. The newer shit, man. I mean, if you ever hear like the newer shit,
yeah.
Like I just put out a 2-track, Carbon Copy and Crocodile Tears. Those were pretty hard. The new EP I'm working on right now, that's just gonna go crazy.
I believe it. I'm
yeah,
hyped.
Like I posted a reel of like 2 songs. One's called Goth Thought, and the other one is I Need Therapy. But like it's just the whole shit, man. Just goes. It's awesome. Like hyper level shit. Like it's way better than like anything I've ever put out, man. Honestly.
And that's good.
As far as the solo shit goes, because I have more faith in like arteries and whatever. Not so much. Like I love doing hyperpop, but you know, like where I feel like I excel in is like, you know, post-hardcore, metalcore, melodic hardcore. That's why I've been making all these instrumentals and shit to sell and stuff. Or like, just to put out, just to see like if people will fuck with it and stuff. But yeah, man. I mean, because I'm always gonna stick to that genre. Like I tried to go away from that genre for like 2 years, and I was like, I can't do this shit anymore. Like, I'm a hardcore kid, bro.
Yeah.
Like I gotta go where I grew up on, man. Like it's like telling someone that they've listened to country their whole life, and then you're like, oh no, listen to metal. And it's not gonna really work out, man. You know what I mean? So
For sure.
it's just everything. I try, but fuck that, man. Just do what you love.
For sure. Is there anything you want to say to the general audience before we wrap this up? Anyone that's, you know, been listening to you for the longest, any advice?
Man, nah, man. I just gotta say, thank you for having me here, bro. For real.
Absolutely, dude.
This was dope. I'm gonna just say what my friend used to say. Is just be annoying and chase your dreams, man. You know, like just keep working at what you're trying to do, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just be passionate about it. And fuck what anyone else has to say, man. Like if they don't like it, they don't like it. You feel me?
Sounds about right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you for stopping by.
No, I haven't.
Do you need another water bottle?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
And I know if I keep drinking water, I'm gonna have to piss like a racer, bro.
I got you, man. Anyways, new EP coming soon.